Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Suffix 4. Suffix today is Archy, just A-R-C-H-Y, as a word ending. All right, let's continue. The suffix Archy is used to form nouns that mean rule or some sort of form of government. All right, let's continue. It derives directly from Latin, archaea, also meaning rule or government. And here are some of the most common examples. Today probably number one that we often hear is monarchy. Monarchy is a type of government ruled by a king or a queen, so it definitely has a royal family. All right, we have a couple of example sentences for this. There are still many monarchies in the world today, even though most governments are not, but there's still quite a few. Monarchies are usually hereditary, so meaning that the children usually will take over after the parents. So very often it's the eldest son or possibly the eldest daughter. Whoever is next in line will usually take over when the king or queen either dies or gives up their power, and can vary from an absolute dictator where especially in the past, in former times they were that, where their word was pretty much rule of law. To a figurehead, today we think of most of them being figurehead, where there is like another government, a parliament, or some sort of legislatures, and the monarchy, the king and the queen, is just thought of as being like more of a representative of the country. Anyway, that's what we're led to believe. Some other people think that some of these monarchies sometimes have a lot more power behind the scenes that you don't see. But anyway, this is what we mean by a monarchy. All right, let's continue. Matriarchy. All right, now, again, we got the archy with being power or rule. Matria, that comes from Latin, mater means mother. So matriarchy is a society that is mostly ruled by women, or where women clearly are like the head of the family, and they are running most of society. Okay. All right, and we have one example here. Mosuo, China, and Uomoja, Kenya, are two modern-day monarchies that still exist, where women are, they clearly have more power than men in these societies. Okay, patriarchy, all right, the total opposite of matriarchy, also coming from Latin, pater means father, archy, of course, the government rule. Patriarchy is a society, government, etc., in which men have all or most of the power. Okay, good. And we have an example sentence for this. Traditionally, many societies have been patriarchies. Okay, good. All right, now we have anarchy. All right, anarchy is a society in which there is no government or no social control. Yeah, that's what we mean by an anarchy. So a lot of times when you have the at the word like atypical, sometimes means no. So I guess this is where we get the idea of anarchy. All right, we got a couple of sentences here. Anarchists prefer anarchy and no government, and they really believe no government has the right to say what we can and cannot do. All right, yeah. So I guess we just had one example. All right, and the last one we're going to cover here is hierarchy. Hierarchy is a system of organizing people according to their status in a particular society or organization. So according to the level they're at. So the hierarchy from the top to the bottom, or from the bottom to the top. All right, so we give one example for this. The hierarchy of the Catholic Church from top to bottom is the Pope. So the Pope's on top. Then there's cardinals, archbishop, bishop, priest, and then maybe a deacon would be at the bottom. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. Hope it's very informative. Again, so watch out. Anytime you see a word ending with archy, usually has something to do with either rule of power or rule of government. Okay, thank you for your time. Bye-bye.